Dad's just standing there. No.
To be fair, I looked down at the end of like 2 days ago.
Education!
Our education! 9K for what? 9K for what? 9K for what? 9K for what? Students, you made it! We're going to be defeated! We're What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? 9K for what? 9K for what? What are we paying for? What are we paying for? What are we paying for?
John's fucking slapped that horse on the arm.
This is a rare occasion that we get to come out in numbers like this. And for the SU to call itself the Steve Biko building when it's done nothing and rent strikers have killed it and got a 30% rent reduction is a joke. The SU took all of the possible credit for that. And what did they do?
Fuck all!
Fuck all, man! Who did it all? Who did it all? Who spearheaded it? We did! This is what I mean. And the SU has gone beyond its limits. It can't do what it's supposed to do anymore. It's the bureaucracy, it's so up Nancy's arse, it cannot find its way out. So I think it kind of goes to show that we can be our own students' union and that we do not need to rely on the systems that are built to put us down to get us out of the situation. Only we can do it. Only you can do it. Come on guys, we got it, man.
Power to the union!
We were lied to when we were brought here. We were promised safe campuses, and we were promised a university experience of blended learning. In that third day of the first week, that was all cancelled and all our learning was switched to online. It was a lie from the very beginning. They knew that they would do that. They did that so that we could bring us here. We would pay £9,000 a year in tuition fees. We pay like thousands of pounds a year accommodation fees. And then they completely left us to fend for ourselves. Fairfield had more COVID cases than half the countries in the world at one point. We didn't even get food boxes until after we'd come out of accommodation, which were only like 3 days sell-by date or something. It's absolutely disgusting what they're doing to us. And we need to fight back. The rent strike was 30% reduction for semester 1. That was not the students' union. The students' union did not have cold showers for 2 weeks sitting in the building. The students' union did not risk credit cards. The students' union has done nothing to support us. The university has done nothing to support us. In January, we're going to stand again and we're going to withhold our rent. Every single person here, don't pay your rent in January. They haven't got away with it. 30% is amazing. The biggest rent strike reduction in UK student rent strike history. But we can do more. They're just kicking the can down the road. We don't know what's happening in January. You know, are we even going to be able to come back? Are we going to be paying for empty bedrooms? Are we going to have online teaching? Who knows? So don't pay your rent yet. And keep paying back. We are demanding reduced tuition fees. All education is currently online. The Open University gives rates for students for £6,192. If our education is online, what are we paying 9K for?
Exactly! 9K for what?
We also want reduced academic pressure. A lot of students are really struggling right now under the current climate of COVID-19. They need a no disadvantage policy. They need negotiations when it comes to deadlines. They need a reduced workload. This is not good enough. And finally, what we want is we want a transparent COVID-19 action plan. blatantly defensive racial profiling of students, cops on campus, the lie to Nancy Rothwell on national television has just shown us there's no communication between the university and the students. They are putting out fires as they come. You can't do that under COVID-19. We need a plan C and we need a plan D today, for God's sake. I'm sure you are too, and I will feel a lot better going into 2021 if they sit down and actually speak to the students who are asking to talk to them. I don't want to protest anymore. I don't want to feel ashamed of my university. When I came here in first year, I was proud to be at this uni. I feel so ashamed to be here right now. It's scandal after scandal after scandal, and it will continue that way until they sit down and they talk to students.
Mental health issues, oh joy, there's a rainbow array, and more often or not, some are often here to stay. So why some choose to ignore, to feign ignorance, to not speak about issues which so many face every single week baffles me truly beyond belief. Instagram, the social media app, which can really fuel the fire. Yes, it can be positive, but also negative, and it leaves a lot to be desired. Caught up in an online world where no one is at their best, you are constantly taking part in a mental health state test, which no one ever truly passes. But if we all just remembered the path of it, but that is so much easier said than done, because Instagram is continuously advertising this type of fun. Now, social media, I know, is too easy a bone to pick. So something I want to focus on, something which really makes me feel sick, is our authorities who are there to supposedly protect. But I know how stupid of us to ever really expect, because all they've ever given our generation is a whole lot of neglect. The government has completely forgotten that mental health is a thing, but with their bullshit values, logical systems, and how Boris can barely string a whole sentence together, it is really a surprise, especially when instead of help us, they scapegoat and ignore students' cries. Coronavirus, a disease with physical health implications, yes, but mental health and well-being once more have just been swept aside, ignored, barely addressed. How many voices crying out does it take for some sort of effect? Young people are more vulnerable, which statistics surrounding mental health show. So why does government then feel the need to also throw comically immature insults such as, "Don't kill me, Gran"? Not that they ever really have any other sort of plan. The universities too have really fallen through. They've shown meagre support for students under their care, their priorities instead being that they get their financial share. One uni in particular has really sat on the fence. Oh, apologies, my mistake, didn't it actually get pulled down? Anyway, absolute clowns. In all seriousness though, I do not say the word cages lightly. Students are not animals and should never be considered so, even slightly. We are young human beings who have been really struggling and feeling depressed, blamed, attacked, and now trapped. So yes, we do feel angry, and we have a right to be so, for we have snapped. How many students crying out for help does it take for us to be heard? How many cries for help, breakdowns, and even death will it take for mental health to be properly addressed? What are you going to throw at us next, UOM? Any more prejudice, ignorance, or lack of care from which your organisation stems? Racial profiling, fencing students in? Oh, and don't even let me begin on how dear old Dame Nancy Rothwell lied to us all on national TV. And I think you will all most likely agree that I'm pretty sure I'd remember if I'd written a letter. But hey, surely, as the saying goes, everybody makes mistakes. Oh, but Nancy, you've made more than just a few. So I think it's now the time to take on the saying to thine own self be true. Do us all a favour, Nancy. It's time to call it quits, because for the job of Vice Chancellor, you're clearly not a fit. Shout out to Manchester Rent for their rent reduction success. However, we need to keep on fighting. We need to press on and demand more, even after Christmas, to continue this uproar. So everyone please keep supporting SAFER. Academic, financial and physical safety is what we all deserve. So let's make sure that we do not waver just because we end the term. There are so many student organisations which we need to keep supporting. 9K for What, Rent Strike, Students for Profit, and Save for Two, to which the new student consciousness movement acts as the glue. So please make sure you go forward, support and lend your voices to them all. Let's keep reminding the uni that we are young human beings who have been really struggling and feeling depressed, blamed, attacked, and now trapped. So yes, we are angry. We have snapped. And that we will not stop protesting, marching, using our voices, calling out the injustices that we can see until all of our demands have been met, and to a suitable degree.
On account of the police presence here, you need to remember 4 things. Do not talk to them. Do not talk to the liaison officers in the blue coat. Answer no comment or say you don't talk. These people are not your friends. They're not here to find out useful information. They're here to find out who organised this protest. And we're not stupid and we're not going to give them that information. To remember is do not, under any circumstances, accept a caution or a warning. The third thing to remember is if we're asked to search you, ask under what power. These people have to act by the law too. Ask them under what power? Under what power did you pull one of us by the side of the road? Under what power were you attempting to stop us? Under what fucking power? And the fourth thing to remember is do not accept any handouts from the police. No cards, no paper, nothing. If they give you something, let it fall on the floor and disintegrate in the fucking rain. Don't take anything. No personal details, no comment, no caution, under what power. Don't accept anything from them. That's everything I wanted to say. Sorry.
It might be news to some of you, but under the Tory government, anyone who's not getting supplementary income from their maintenance loan is technically defined as living in relative poverty. Fun time! Even the Tories will admit it. Their own guidelines state that anyone who has 40% or less of average household income is living in relative poverty. The vast majority of the student population is. And last I checked, education should be a right, not a fucking privilege. Was it acceptable to ask a whole generation of young people to give up their welfare to try and get themselves educated? I didn't think it was, not as far as I'm concerned. Thank you everyone for showing up today. Thank you to Stephen, 9 days of war. You need the refugee one I can't remember the name of. That's important too. Keep mind goodbye guys. Thank you for being here.
So many people out here in the rain, the horrible weather, standing up to be counted, not letting their unis walk all over them. Because what we have seen from the past few weeks is that direct action does work. A small handful of students managed to get a multi-million-pound corporation, which is the University of Manchester, to pay out £12 million. And that wasn't just because the uni was feeling a bit generous one day. That wasn't just a coincidence. They did that because direct action does work. And when students stand together and stand up, the uni has to listen to us. 9K for What was proud to occupy alongside Wentstrike, and we're proud of that victory. But the fight does not end there. 9K for What demands a reduction in tuition fees along with the Open University and support packages that will benefit working class students and those who've been hit the hardest by this. Because if the unis think that the fight is over now and this is all done and dusted, they're very much mistaken. We will not stand for students being treated like cash cows, for any more staff redundancies, and for a complete disregard for the community of Manchester after they've brought us all back here telling us it was safe, leading to higher transmission rates of COVID. Will not accept that. Because students, staff and the community should not be given up in the expense of University of Manchester making a £40 million turnover every year, which is expected to rise even after COVID. So they can afford it, and we demand that they do better. Because when we say 9K for what, we're not just asking why we're paying 9K a year for Zoom tuition, why we're paying 9K a year to be fenced in our accommodation, why we're paying 9K a year for reduced access to libraries. When we're asking why we're paying 9K, we're asking why we're paying 9K to access higher education in general. We're asking why are young people getting themselves in £80,000 worth of debt just to get education, when it should be free, it was free, it is free in other countries, and it will be free again. 9K for What are not just fighting for this year, but we're fighting for every year. We're fighting for free, fair, accessible education for good. And you guys stood here are part of the biggest student movement in the past 10 years. And we will win! So let's get organised then, because we say no to unis acting like businesses. We say no to the marketisation of education, and we demand that students, staff and the community are treated with dignity and respect.
This demo today marks the end of easily the worst semester that I have ever seen in my 2.5 years at this university. The university have consistently proven this semester that our lives and our welfare pale in significance to the profit we represent. Nancy Rothwell and her management do not see us as people. They see us as money that have one purpose: to feed their six-figure salaries. This semester, it has been failure after failure after failure from Nancy Rothwell and her management. From Patrick Hackett, the head of security, lobbying the Senate for £500 on-the-spot fines for any student breaking COVID, and sending the riot police to multiple peaceful protests, to Nancy Rothwell lying on national television about consulting with the victim of a disgusting instance of racism. This university has proven that they are dangerously incompetent and will continue putting our lives at risk unless we rise up to stop them. Although being part of this university has been painful and humiliating for a lot of this semester, one thing we cannot let go unspoken is what we as students have done. When the university abandoned people self-isolating in September as cases soared because of their arrogant refusal to listen to the science and the advice of unions, it was us who stepped in. Never forget that it was us who saw each other through the first month, while all senior management did was consistently try and wriggle out of the tight spot they had created. When they tried to fence us in November, we tore those fences down in less than an hour. The university refused to see us as people, but on that night, we forced them to see us. When they continued to ignore the demands of safer, 9K for what, rent strike and other students who were begging for better support and begging for better living conditions, we made them listen. We stand here today having achieved the biggest rent strike victory that has ever been. Every single improvement we have seen this semester is the result of 3 months of hard work among students. It was us who got 24-hour mental health support. It was us who got improvements to accommodation. It was us who got better library access because we refused to be quiet until we got what we wanted. But we still have so much more to do because the university are still putting students at risk, so we can't stop. As long as reports like the one that came out yesterday, detailing multiple failures from management that only recommends better communication instead of to sack the people responsible, we cannot stop fighting. As long as students are still living in unsafe accommodation and receiving inadequate support, we cannot stop fighting. As long as the police are allowed to patrol Fallowfield campus, enter into people's homes without permission, making the campus entirely unsafe for all students, but especially students of colour, we cannot stop. It is that our power cannot be matched. The university can ignore emails and they can ignore petitions, but they cannot ignore us on days like today when we march and demand to be heard. Manchester University has been in the hands of an elite few for too long. For too long we have allowed this toxic institution to go unpunished. But after this semester we say no more. Nancy Rothwell and her management will be preparing for a Christmas dinner funded by our fees. I'm telling you this now, they will not see another semester in management. No, when we come back, there's going to be a vote. And every single student at Manchester will be able to vote on whether Nancy Rothwell, Patrick Hackett, April McMahon and the other senior management that have failed us this semester deserve their petitions. We will vote no. We will vote in the biggest numbers this university has ever seen. We will vote whatever happens because they do not deserve to represent us. They do not protect us. And they have to go. They can call the police to our protests. They can bully us. They can call the police to push us back in our doors on a peaceful protest. But we will not stop. That has never worked for the students of the University of Manchester before. And it will never work because we are stronger than the police. And we are stronger than campus security because we are united. And we will... Thank you, everybody.
So we've been speaking a lot, and you want to hear us a little bit, but you're getting tired of it. So we want to hear your voices. So if anyone is willing to come up and speak in front of us and share their experience and their thoughts on this so far, now is the time.
I'm Lucas, lovely to meet you all. As we're down here in front of the Santa Claus, you know that Boris Johnson and Nancy won't be on his nice list this year. I think they're on their own separate list, which is mainly called the Tory Party. I live in MNU, and I live in Cavendish, or as I like to call it, a walking death trap. God, where do I begin with that shithole? I could talk about the piss event, but I won't go into that, as I'm not going to go into that because you know how long that takes. So, This is a shithole. Broken showers that decide to explode and don't work. Sinks broken 24/7. The fucking table decides to detonate at one point in time. Maybe because someone stood on it, but still it's a shithole. The next thing is the victims, the communists pretty much relied on this whole system. Well, you've got to snitch your fucking flatmates out, and when you've got serious anxiety about doing that, oh no! Looks like I got a 500 quid fine for someone pulling the fire alarm I wasn't there too. Oh, that's fun. That was a bunch of shit. Fucking teams. Oh, it's a free app. Oh, but I pay £9,000 to actually use it. Oh, fuck shit. Oh, fuck off. There's a lot of things I could go on about. I'm just going to say, fuck the police. Why are you even there?
You know, it's weird that they're called civil servants, because they don't really seem to be serving the civilians right now. From what I can see, you know, they stand around here and somebody lights a flare and they act like it's a black teenager in America. Yeah, true. The only difference is that they're not allowed to have guns. So we stand here, we march, and they try and kindle us in at the beginning, if any of you remember that. They were kindling us in like pigs, which is, you know, actually quite fitting, seeing as you know, usually when like pigs are dominating other animals, I remember a book called Animal Farm. We're sitting on top of the horses in the hill diameter of the. So I just wanted to say, please, could you please suck a cock and leave? That would be nice.
I just wanted to take one more moment to remind everyone of our demands in case the university are watching. We want a reduction in tuition fees to reflect that of the Open University, £6,192. If you want to treat us as consumers, then you are failing our consumer rights currently. They're not being met. So update our fees to reflect them. We want a reduction in academic pressure, no disadvantage policies, negotiable deadlines, reduction in workload, also for staff as well. Their safety is in danger. We want no forced return to face-to-face teaching for staff who feel that they aren't safe when they're doing so, and we want to make sure that there are no staff cuts either to make sure that our tuition fees are being reimbursed. And finally, we want a transparent COVID-19 action plan. They've shown that putting out fires as they come does not and will not ever work. So sit down now, take some time out over Christmas break and get your little plans together. And maybe in the meantime you should contact us and we can tell you what our needs are, and we can tell you when you think of putting up fences, maybe don't do that, okay?
Online learning, as the University of Manchester has done it, for me with ADHD and my mental illnesses is not accessible. And I was talking to my tutor about this. I was saying, is there any point in me even being here when I literally cannot access the learning? And my tutor said to me, if you break your leg, you can't run the race. And that was it. Fuck that! I still haven't got the disability support plan because it's so hard. Me and my friend, we're trying to get each other to sign up to that. It's so complicated. Nobody's fucking helping us. I'm not even going here. Like, fuck that. No case for what?
I'm from MMU, which not a lot of people know about some of the stuff that's happened there. But from the past few months of being there, I've realised that we're not students to them, we're not people, we're animals that give them money. Because what they do is they don't treat us with basic human rights, which we all should do. We want to stand with the students, we want to stand with everyone, we want to stand together. But no, they lock us in, they take our money, they have keys to our flats and they let themselves in, which I found is horrible. Our flat, for one, a few people here from my flat, got basically raided not very long ago. So after we had all of the lock-in for 2 weeks, and then we did all the signs and the posters in the window, all of a sudden, I'm in a lecture, just having a normal morning, and then what do I hear? Screaming in the corridor, banging on the doors. Who is it? It is the university. They've come to rip down our posters, tell us how we want to live, and come into our rooms when we're sleeping right early in the morning. No one does that. You shouldn't do that. Hey up, ring the fucking doorbell. We pay rent. We have renters' rights. You can't do that to us. It's not right. But they won't listen to us, will they? Well, they fucking will now. They can't ignore this, and if we keep getting louder, they can fuck themselves, can't they? Because they know they're in the wrong, they can't get out of it, and they know that we are human, we're not animals that you can keep in cages and lock them and put fences up for. We are humans, we have rights, we're not going to keep giving them money if they treat us like shit.
I ain't got too much to say and I ain't got anything prepared or anything, but I just feel fucking lied to, man. So fucking lied to. Before we came here, we had emails saying there wasn't going to be lectures, but we're going to have small groups every week. I'm on an engineering course, I'm meant to be in every week, man. Every single week. I've been in twice. And when you're in, it's with 3 people, 2 people, masks on, and you're in for 20 minutes. Every other person has been bailed out by the government. The furlough scheme, everything. And we're just getting fucked. We're literally just getting fucked. We are paying £9 for just shit. Fuck all. Absolutely nothing. We sit, I'm in Oak House. We sit in that room. You can't get any work done. The library's closed at 5. It's so unfair. I could be living at home. I could have driven here the 2 times I've been here. I could have saved thousands. We're just getting fucked every single day. And every single time there's a protest that seems to rain, there should be more of us out here. So please, just tell your mate, bring more people, and we will succeed.
Back in March, all of PIP applications, personal independence payment, which is the first benefit you have to apply for as a disabled person before you can have access to any other disability benefits, was suspended until September. As soon as coronavirus hit, literally the offices and the administrative forces there to help the most vulnerable people in society were taken aside in an emergency. Straight away, as soon as anything happened, the most vulnerable people in society are disregarded, and we won't stand for it anymore. We can't enable the so-called able to disable the different anymore. My personality is disordered, my arse. Put me next to anyone who's supposedly normal and talk to me with them. Let me see who's got their mind more set on what's right and what's wrong, compared to me versus some neurotypical arsehole in Westminster.
I just want to make the point that this has been going on for a long time. This has been going on longer than this year. This has been going on for the past 3 years. We have had strikes, which has meant that we've lost half of our education, if not all of it. We have had for the past 3 years, 4 years, an industrial dispute that the university has failed to resolve time and time again, and now we are here, and now we are losing more of our education. Those of us who have been here for 3 or 4 years will know that they have spent more time in this university doing fuck all than doing any of their education. This is ridiculous! This is ridiculous! This is an outrage! What are we here for? What have all our first years and second years and third years been brought here for? Every day is like an existential crisis. You don't know what you're here for. You're trying to learn. You're doing engineering, and you can't come in. You can't do your practicals. You can't do your theatre. You can't do nothing. You cannot do nothing. And we are sat here on our asses waiting for something. And then when we protest, when we rise up, and when we do something about it, we are heavily policed. We are racially, well, not we, but people are racially profiled, and it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. I am sick of this university trampling on students. You are sick of university trampling. Think of poor parents, for crying out loud. They've been watching the news every day. I mean, not all, but a lot of people's parents have been watching the news every day going, what the fuck have I sent my kids to? What on earth is going on? Not only that, but bringing the students in here has an adverse effect on the local communities around our residents. This is not our fault, but the fact is that we have set off a biological bomb inside Fallowfield, inside Withington. That is not our fault. That is because we've been told to come in, because we were told it would be safe. It is not safe. It is not safe. And we are seeing people die. We have seen our students die. This is too much. This is not enough. This is unbelievable! And Nancy Rothwell can sit in her fucking caviar Christmas dinner and weep for all I care when she goes on the news and she says, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, lying I was lying to the students, and I was lying to students who were racially profiled, and I was lying here, there and everywhere. But it's not just about Nancy. If we say, Nancy, 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 go, 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 you're absolutely right, get fucked, Nancy. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for structural change. We've lost 30% of our rent. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well done. Well bloody done. My accent's going all over the place. I am so proud. I'm so proud of us, of the student movement. I'm so proud. You've done very, very well. We've got a lot more things to do. We've got the decommodification of our entire education to go. And I'm so proud of us all for the things that we are doing. We have done this today. We have got from there to here. I am so proud. With adverse policing, with ridiculous securitisation of our people, of our bodies. We had 2 women being assaulted by police this March. I'm not having that. That's unfair. It's ridiculous. That's our right to protest. It's exempt under law.
The confinement of students under the pseudonym of COVID regulations, the removal of our fundamental human right to assembly, the systemic racism within our institutions and universities. Now the police state has transcended and crept into our universities with the introduction of police patrols in our halls of residence and the over-policing of events like this. One barrier falls, only for us to be met with another, and another, and another. If you think of it this way, it's a hard and lonely road. But I don't think of it this way. I think of these efforts as one conscious endeavour. An endeavour that is trying to impede on our way of life. The mistakes of their predecessors. The mistake of standing on our shoulders, only for them to revel in the profits from our extortion, or the glory from our misery. But if actions speak louder than words, and the last 7 months are anything to go by, then I believe those who have been stood on our shoulders for so long are beginning to lose their balance. If we look around the world today, there is a collective awakening happening. Take India, for example. 300 million workers have been striking after deregulating the agricultural sector. A sector that 60% of the population rely on.
BBC has said nothing about
BBC
it.
have nothing about it.
Oh, BBC's a bunch of fucking right-wingers owned by Murdoch. Fuck them!
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Propaganda!
Yeah, 60% of the population rely on this sector, and it's now been deregulated and opened up to privatisation. So people's livelihoods are at stake again. Or take France. The government brought in laws that made it a criminal offence to record police officers, only to be met with tens of thousands of protesters. And French do it differently. Have you seen them? They're on some mad hype, I swear to God. Or Nigeria and SARS. Police and the abortion ban. Lebanon and the corruption. The young generation and Black Lives Matter. And now students and our way of life. It is our time to step up to the plate. We are joining the ranks of a social and political movement, but the one thing that is ultimately going to hinder our progress is ourselves. It's so much easier for us to accept the things we cannot change than it is to challenge them. Now, with the mass migrations of students in the coming weeks, we all risk forgetting or caring about the dysfunctional universal experiences we all share. I'm not going to stand here before you and tell you that you cannot and must not forget or stop caring. Quite the opposite. Over the next few weeks, we're going to return to our friends and family, back to whatever sense of normality we have, and to be surrounded by our friends and families and ones that care about us. I encourage you to enjoy these times and to cherish those around you, but I ask one thing of you. When the inevitable question comes of, how's university been? Instead of saying it's fine, it's good, have an honest, open and direct conversation with the person you're talking to, because these are the people we have to convince. Our friends and families are the ones that are getting their perspectives shaped and warped by the institutions that are put against us. BBC aren't going to put anything nice about us. We've been scapegoated. We've been told we're going to kill our grandparents. We've been told that we're the ones spreading it. We're the ones that got told to come here. Now, I think we've stood here too long, we've gone too wet. But yeah, I'm a member of the Student Consciousness Movement. 9k for water here, student for profit, stay fair, went straight, add them all up on Instagram, add them all up on the socials, and most importantly, have a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Thank you for coming out, everyone.
Christmas tree.